Hello YouTube, Romopar here. Sorry, but this topic hits kind of close to home for me. Um, Not because I know anyone in the adult industry, or I know a woman who's been beaten as savagely as Christy Mack was, but my wife, uh, who I'm with now, uh, suffered under emotional abuse for many years before she finally broke it off with her husband, and then shortly thereafter, her and I got together. So, seeing the pictures, I'm not going to post them. We've all seen them by now, and quite frankly, they're disgusting. And yeah, so seeing that really, every time I think about it, I just get furious. How someone could choose to not just cause that much harm to another human being, but this guy was going to take her life. All the accounts we have, I read the official police report. Uh, Christie was only able to escape when he went looking for a sharp knife. He was quoted as saying, to finish the job. As if the beating itself wouldn't have taken her life. It almost did. Thankfully, she is recovering. I believe she's actually left the hospital. She's at home with her dogs, and that's a good thing. She's expected to recover. She's going to need a lot of surgery. She's going to need a lot of time to rest and recuperate. I myself had some bones broken in my face. Not 18, there's 3 here and here, and that it was a nightmare. So I can't even imagine what Christy's going through right now. All the missing teeth. I think she had even had a skull fracture. I don't know. I was going over the details of this case, and I just can't do it without getting angry. It is hideous. Um, any man should know better, especially a man. I mean, part of, at least when I was raised, and this is one of the reasons why I reject masculinity as it is today, because the concept of manhood that I grew up with was that violence is only to be used in self-defense. It is never to be used to make your point. It is never to be used to settle an argument. It is never to be used as a means of enforcing your opinion upon others. And all of those apply in this case. The absolute worst part of this whole ordeal for Christy is the response on social media that she's gotten from people who are fucking idiots, are brain dead. I don't know. Those are the nicest ways I could put this. It really is. I mean, you've seen the pictures. You've read the story. The police report is out for the world to see. I read it online just today, just a couple hours ago, in fact. Um, so why you could then turn around and say, well, maybe you shouldn't have been a porn star, or you took a beating in your videos, this should be nothing for you, or you should be used to this by now, what the hell's your problem? Or any of the other thousands of hate speech that has just been blasting this poor woman is beyond comprehension. It makes no sense. I mean, imagine if, well, I don't want to play that game. It's fucking useless, because these people don't put themselves in another person's shoes. You can't possibly be willing to do that if you're willing to make these kinds of comments. Here I am, uh, a man, watching this story unfold. I'm extremely glad that um, that War Machine was caught. I'm also what really kind of gave me some joy was when I found out that Dwayne Dog Chapman, bounty hunter, who has his own reality TV show, jumped up and went looking for this guy as soon as he heard the story. Um, that that really gave me some kind of hope for manhood, or what I consider manhood. Uh, it just it boggles my mind. Um, I've been hearing a lot of things about rape culture and why I need feminist posts. Yes, all women hashtag. And I looked at these things and it was hard not to take them personally. But really, that has opened my eyes, um, especially over the last couple of years. And when I see stuff like this, I no longer think of it as, okay, well, he did this, what did she do? That doesn't matter. It does not matter what she did. Even, you know, John's trying to say that she attacked him with a knife. Maybe she did. He was beating up her fucking boyfriend. Why couldn't she attack you with a knife? Why shouldn't she attack you with a knife? Why wouldn't she attack you with a knife? You're an MMA fighter, motherfucker. You're huge compared to her. What the hell else? How is she going to defend the man she's with? So why this guy thought he had free reign and why the public agrees with him? It contradicts everything that I grew up with, everything that I was taught about what men should do, how men should behave. Um, and this is not chivalry. This is just common decency. It's not okay to do this to another man. Why the fuck is it okay to do it to a woman? Even if she is a porn star. So what? The anger I feel is driven as much by shame as it is anything else. Because, I don't know, because I'm a man, because I feel that I'm expected to act that way. If I was in that situation, um, you know, what if I decide, okay, well, she's with another guy, whatever, and the men around me are like, oh, what are you, a pussy? What the fuck? You're not gonna go do something? Dude, just go kick his ass. Fuck's wrong with you? You want to fight? Huh? What's the matter with you? I mean, that kind of shit I've heard many times throughout my life. Um, there's this perception that masculinity carries with it um, a need for violence. And yeah, I think need really is the operative word here. Men nowadays, masculine culture is what I want to call it. Basically, manly men. I mean, the type. Look at me. I own a gun that fires bullets bigger than my penis. I got balls, man. They hang the truck nuts off their trailer hitches and brag about the size of their cocks and how much how many women, how much sex they've had with, and all this other stuff. It just drives me crazy that masculine culture today is centered around sex and violence. Um, you know, you brag about how much tail you get, and you get involved in an intellectual conversation where you find yourself on the quote-unquote losing end. You threaten to kick their ass. I'm going to teach you a lesson, and I'm going to kick your ass to do it. That kind of stupid shit. And that's exactly what this is. And it's sickening. And I really hope, although I doubt it, but I really hope that men everywhere can take a serious gut check. Step back, guys. Look at yourself in the mirror. Think about what you're telling Christy, as if she was in the room with you, as if you were facing her, staring her in both of her swollen, almost swollen shut eyes right now. Would you tell her that she has to bear the responsibility for getting beat up because she was with another guy, or because of the movies that she makes, because of her lifestyle, because of XYZ? Would you tell her that to her face? No? I'm willing to bet you won't. Not because you're scared, not because you're cowardly, not because you're afraid of getting confronted, but because when they're there in the flesh, in front of you, it's a lot different than when you have a computer screen and a wired connection between the two of you. You empathize with that person. In a way, you kind of don't have a choice. You know, your brain sees what they went through. You hear the sound of her voice. You take all this in. It's not, Photoshop, as one person claimed. You know it's real. It's in front of you. It happened. And you see them suffer and feel pain. And you're going to keep that crap to yourself. Even if you believe it. Even if you're thinking it. You're not going to say it. And the next thing I want all men to consider. When you see a victim of abuse, someone who's been beat down, someone who's been emotionally abused, someone whose scars can't be seen, ask yourself this question. Why did the person abuse them? Not what did the victim do to deserve it. Okay? If you're asking what the woman did to deserve getting beat, getting yelled at, getting called names, getting insulted, getting stalked, you're asking the wrong question. You need to ask yourself, why did the person abuse this victim, whoever it is? Maybe they're mentally ill, like the guy in Santa Barbara. Maybe they are just an asshole, like War Machine. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe they suffer peer pressure. I don't know. Okay? But the plain and simple fact of the matter is when you ask that question, you will never come to the conclusion that the victim of abuse started it. Because the abuser is never the victim. That's why they're the abuser. There's one last thing I want to point out. To everybody who has told Christy Mack that, she brought this on herself. Go back and look at the pictures of Christy, what she looks like now. Now go and look at War Machine's mugshot. He was arrested last Friday. It's already all over the web. Take a look at the injuries Christy suffered. Then take a look at the injuries War Machine suffered. Who the fuck do you think the real victim is here? How can you possibly say War Machine is the one who's the victim? Why? Just because he sent a tweet saying, no one's going to give me a fair shake? Yeah, dude, you know why you're not going to get what you want? Because they are going to give you a fair shake. They're going to look at what you did to Christy. They're going to look at what happened to you. They're going to look at your arrest in 2010. Which, by the way, you're still on probation for beating up somebody in a bar. They're also going to look at your other domestic abuse charge. They're going to look at the fact that you've been arrested 3 times for violence. And all of this is going to weigh against you. Then they're going to look at Christy Mack's past, and they're not going to see any of that. And you're going to stand up there and say, well, she was in bed with another guy. I was heartbroken. I wanted to propose. She dumped your ass. The fuck makes you think she was going to marry you? You think we're going to buy that bullshit? No. You're a fucking liar, dude. You are a fucking liar. And I would say that right to your face, knowing that you would probably try to beat me up. And you know what? I wouldn't fucking care. Yeah, I'd be hurting. I'd be hating life. I'd be recovering. But you know what? I'm going to recover. And I'm going to say the entire time I'm recovering that you're a fucking asshole. That you're a liar. And you're a goddamn coward. Who can't live without getting his own way. And the only way you know to get your own way is to kick people's ass. That is pathetic. And even lying in a hospital bed with tubes sticking out of every orifice coming through me, if you came into my hospital room and confronted me, I would tell you the exact same thing I did when you kicked my ass the first time. It would not change a thing. Violence solves nothing. It solves nothing. Okay? It only works in one place, the ring. In a sanctioned contest with rules, with the referee, where there's a goal in mind, there's a prize. At that point, have at it. I won't stop you. I don't like MMA fighting personally. I don't like fighting, period. But it's a contest. Both people, men, women, enter the ring of their own free will. They're both got their eyes on the prize. They got something to fight for. Competition, I think, is a very healthy thing, and it should continue. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to jump on it's because he's in the MMA bandwagon. It's not. It's because he's not right in the head. You know? I mean, how many other MMA fighters have got wives, been happily married for many years, got kids even? You know? It can be done. In fact, it's better to do it that way. You know, it's better when you get into a confrontation with somebody to leave your hands by your sides. You know, to stop when you realize you're not going to get your way, when it's not going to go in your favor, to just turn around and walk away. You know? No one would be talking shit about you, dude, if, you know, you got on Twitter and said, my ex-girlfriend, who I still love, is dumped me last week and she's already fucking another guy and I'm heartbroken. And then left it at that. You got a right to vent, dude. You know, you got the right to vent. You don't have a right to strangle a girl, punch her in the face until her blood splatters all over your face, you know, to cut her hair off, to rape her, to fucking go looking for a knife to finish the job. That is never going to be okay, no matter who does it. And it's never going to be okay, no matter who happens to. I'm a very pissed off Bromopar, and that's my view on things.